So the first thing we always do is we're going to visualise it. Now look at the nice, I can look at that straight away, the nice symmetry. I see two groups, group 1 and 2. I see the two black notes are on the right side of each group. Okay, that's a good memorisation right there. Okay, so and we don't play the, of course, because we're now going around the circle fifth anti-clockwise. We're looking at all the flats. If we flatten something, it means we're not playing the note on the right. That's another memory association you can make, okay? Right, so we don't play that. Now, because when we're trying to find in real time our scale, it's useful to know we don't play that, because when we're sharpening, we don't play the note on the left, right? Because we sharpen. When we're flattening, we don't play the note on the right. Another nice memory association you can make. You can think of it, the key uses all the white notes except B flat and E flat. And then on the left side of the two groups, so the two white notes on the left and the three white notes on the left over of group 2, right? Eventually what happens is you commit this in your mind, and you can close your eyes and just visualise and say the scale, right? So that's another important thing. So the visualisation of scales, when you close your eyes, you want to be able to see the scale, then you're going to read the notes, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A and B flat. And you close your eyes and you go backwards, and you visualise it first. So you go B flat, F, G, sorry, I'm not doing that right. So we're B flat, A, G, F, then E flat. Then go slower. If you make a mistake, you just go slower. E flat, D, C, B flat. It's not a speed thing. Remember, we don't want to make mistakes because we're just learning to make mistakes. So to remedy that, we always go slow. The value of not making a mistake over making a mistake, you have to correct that mistake because it goes into your muscle memory, right? Your muscle memory, you can't help developing it. And in this system, we're trying to break it all the time. So you're not relying on it. And then once you know what you're doing, then you rely on it, right? But you've also got all this information as a backup. Anyway, let's go straight into. All right, so the finger positions, top row, we're going up the scale, bottom row, we're going down, just follow the arrows. Again, we always have swing going up, landing coming down. We're going to note the swivel points on the intervals. So on the middle finger there on the 4, the ring on the 1 and the middle on the 4. Again, it's going to be middle, ring, middle going up. On the swing points, the landing point's going to be middle, ring, middle. And we've got the formula there. So on the formula, we've got index 1. So we're going to start on the index. Now we have to start on the index because, well, sometimes you do have a choice, right? This key, you just actually do have a little bit of a choice because you could, if you wanted to, but it's not as comfortable, right? You could start on your thumb, but it's sort of not as comfortable. And I've always played this, and I've started on my index. But if you get used to playing it on your thumb, right? You can do that. But let's start with our index. Index. So we've got a swing point down on that too, but we don't need to sort of memorise that, because when we start on our index, it's a natural thing to go down to the thumb, and you're obviously going to swing. There's no need to remember that. Now we're on the 4. We're going to remember to swing on the 4 because we could be going like that. So we've got to remember we swing on the 4. So again, middle. Now, we swing on the ring. So middle, ring, middle, middle, ring, middle. Okay? So that's what we're doing with our right hand. And again, we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. There's the 4 there. There's the 1. What we need to also do is, and this will come in time, you don't need to learn everything with your scales, you know, like visualize where all the intervals are instantly. That will come with the more songs you practice. This one is getting your hands moving, right? But it's good to know where the second is, because visually, if you go back and look at the intervals video, but you'll be able to eventually know that's the 4. You'll know that's a 4th interval there. I'm going to show you how to find all the 4ths. First, we're going to start with the 5ths, how to find them almost instantly on the piano, or the power chords. So I'm going to write a video in just power chords, which are your 5ths, right? And we call them power chords not because they're particularly powerful, it's because they're ambiguous. It means a power chord is a 1-5-1. It means the characters are very open to create other things. That's why they're called power chords, not because they're particularly powerful. That is powerful though, to be able to do that. Anyway, so let's do the left. Oh, we're still on the right hand, okay? So we're going up. So let's do the left hand now. Okay, for the left hand, we have this hand placement. It only works with the this key, B flat. And it's a little trickier to learn. But again, the process is we focus on the ring, middle, ring. So going up, again, we got the landing points coming down the swing. And so we're looking at the intervals up going up on the ring, middle, ring is 6-3-6. And coming down, it's always going to be the same too. It's the same with all keys. They have the same intervals going up and down. But coming down, and the same finger position numbers. But coming down, we're on the swing point 6-3-6. So first of all, we go straight to the 5. Now you might find other ways to play this scale too, but I'm just showing you this way now. I think this one's the best way. But ring, middle, ring, ring, middle, ring. Okay, and that's how we're going to play it. When you get stuck, so the trick is to remember, right, our landing points, because when you're trying to get this started, instead of going ring, might hit the middle, and then you get yourself caught up, right? If you get the wrong finger when you're moving up, you can get it caught up, right? So that's why we emphasize that ring, middle, ring, because they're the most important points in moving up and down the scale, so you don't get your fingers caught up, right? Ring. Emphasize it in your head. Even when you emphasize it like that, you make it stand out. When you make something stand out, you remember it easier. If you're just going the same tone, like ring. So if you're just going, ring, middle, ring, like that, it won't go in your memory as good as just going ring. Just emphasize it, and you can even play that louder. Ring, middle, ring. So coming back here, right, if I landed say on my ring, if I was on the middle and I'm at the end, that's real awkward to do. That's like bring your thumb up there is awkward, right? I mean, it is possible, but it's very awkward. And when you're playing songs, you want to be able to have the nicest and easiest finger positionings, and it's all about going from one chord to the next. You use the fingers that will allow you to get to the next chord when you're in a song sequence easier. And this becomes natural eventually when you're learning. And one website, chordify.net, is a great way to get your fingers moving it like that. It takes a YouTube song and it's got all the chords, and you practice making the chords and your rhythm. And you don't have to worry about the melody and creating a melody. You're just improvising along, and you can ignore the melody. So it's just going to teach you rhythm, and it's going to teach you to recognise the chord, and also finding fingers, your fingers positions. That'll all come in time. Right, so let's get back to this. Ring, middle, ring. Ring, middle, ring. Now, it's better to slow down rather than make a mistake, right? If you're not sure, And you sort of can sense it when you're doing, when you're not sure. You can feel that, you go, oh, what do I do? It's because you don't understand what you're doing with your fingers. Once you get that understanding, all right, of what you're doing, it makes learning it with muscle memory much easier. And also you're not relying on the muscle memory. And it won't fail you as much if you understand more what you're doing. All right, so that's how we're going to do that. So the right hand and the left hand, we're just going to practice that. And we can note the intervals too. So, we're starting on our index. That's one thing you've got to remember is where you start on. All right, index. So again, middle, ring, middle. And we're ending on our ring finger going up. Middle, ring, middle. Because once you get that middle correct, it allows your fingers to line up to finish it. Otherwise, if you miss that and put a ring instead of a middle, you're going to mess yourself up. So just take it slowly, right? So middle. So even if I come down and start in this position, coming down, right, and I've got my finger on the middle, right, here. Sorry, we end up on the ring. Where are we? She's now stuffed up. We're ending up. That's a good thing about having a formula. Let's just go back. So it says ring 1. Oh, there's a ring. So that's where we end up. Okay, ring 1. So you got to remember where your start and end points. If you're coming down, you got to remember it's the ring 1. Let's just go back down. I haven't put that. Maybe I should put it in there too. Just have the formulas as in these as well. I might end up doing that for the next ones actually, because that could be helpful. I think that's going to be helpful. Or anyway, so ring 1, okay, ring 1. But we know it's middle, ring, middle now. So when we're coming down, so if we're ring 1, we're just going down, and we know it's middle, ring, middle. Now we've come down to our thumb. There's nowhere to go, and we're coming home. So we just swing to the B. That's easy to remember because there's nowhere really else to go. And even if you went on your third or you hit the third, there wouldn't matter anyway. You're just coming home. It doesn't have to be that. And usually, if you're in a song, right, you might do the second, depending where the song's going. So if the song's going to rise back up again, you're going to do the second, right? But if the song's going to keep on going down, right, you would go to the third coming down. And these things happen naturally when you're learning to play. You'll naturally, without even thinking, your fingers will go to the right spot. And that's what these exercises help you do, right? But it's good to think about being aware of this, because it makes it easier when you actually learn songs. Your fingers will naturally find what to do, but this is going to help you do that. Second, 3. If I was going to go down, I'll land on the third there. When we're coming down on our ring, right? Middle, ring. You see, I'm even on the 4th now, right? I'm on the 4th because I know I need to go down more, right? So I'm on the 4th. Middle, but I'm just swinging. Because I'm ending, I can just swing to the 1, right? Now, you're going to swing to the 1 if you're just going to ending and coming back up. You're not going to do that to the 4th to come up, because that's more time wasted, right? If you're going to go back up in real time playing a song, right, you're wasting time doing that. You want to go back up faster, and that's faster because we're going up. So a lot is to do with when you're learning songs, right? All this is going to help you in songs, and there's an example, knowing if you're going to go back up, which finger to use. If you're going to go back down again, well, you're going to go to the 4th. Okay. So I've through these videos, I add these little moments. I think that's going to be a little moment that I'll probably record. So you can look out for the moments. Any little tips and tricks that I think is useful, I will create a little moment. I'll clip it out of my my music video and put them in the moments section and they'll all be color coded, so you'll be able to find them easily. But they're all little tips, so don't forget the moment section. So I'm going to have some stuff that I think of sometimes on the fly, you know, and I put them in and I think, oh, that's useful. And I might probably end up putting that information in my book too. I don't think I even have that information in my book. So anyway. The left hand again, we're just going to practice playing it, doing it outright, and also noting where the intervals are. So we've got ring going up, middle, ring. Excuse me. I played it with muscle memory, but I lost where I was actually playing it. So I'm going to go back and do that again, coming down. So again, I'm going to put I need to probably put the formula up here. But if I'm going to just come down rather than going back up again, let's have a look at this. So we're on the left hand, right? So it's the index is high on the left, right? So our index, that's where we end up on, our index on the left. So you can see now, because my hand's up there, right? I've got a tendency to swing it like that to the thumb, because if I'm playing songs in real time, that might be something I'll do if I want to get down there. But with this particular exercise, we're going to the ring finger, coming down, middle, ring, and then finishing up the scale. Now, as I said before, there are other ways to play this scale, and I'll let you to muck around and discover. But a lot of the ways you play it is got to do with songs too, you know, whether you're going to be rising and falling, as I said before. Okay, we're going to join both hands together. Now, with the right hand, let's just go back to the right hand for a second. Do you see how my fingers, I'm starting on my index and moving to my thumb? It isn't the only way to play this scale. You can play the scale like this. Ring, you could go ring, ring, ring all the way up with this scale if you choose to. But the reason I'm not doing that, ring, and it is legitimate to do it, it's because this movement here is very useful in songs. Because to be nimble with your three fingers like this, right, helps you in when you're writing songs, or when you're improvising and writing songs, to move around. When you're caught up with, if you're doing it like this, and you're caught up with all these fingers, when you're on your high fingers there, it limits where you can go, because you can't like see how it's hard to go up. So really, the only place you can go is down, right? If you're on your pinky, right, you can only go back down when you land on your pinky, unless you do jumps, you know. But by doing it like this, there's a thing called a three-finger technique, and I've got that in my book. You can be very nimble with just three fingers, and you can change direction quite easily. So I like to design the scales where you're nimble, where your fingers are nimble like that. That's why I've chosen this hand position. Anyway, we're joining the both hands together. So what we're going to that's going to be really helpful for us is to remember and get it in our memory, our muscle memory even, right? Even though we're going slowly, we want to get this in our muscle memory. So muscle memory can be very useful, but this is what we want to get. We want to get middle, ring, ring, middle, middle, ring. And you can almost have a musical thing to it. Middle, ring, ring, middle, ring, middle, ring, ring, middle, ring. And you know, if you put a music to it, you remember it easier, as another little tip. Now, so we do want to remember middle, ring, ring, middle, 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 ring. So middle, ring, ring, middle, middle, ring. So, and we know the left hand goes all the way, starts. So the first middle is going to be the right hand, right? And then we want to note how quickly they come. So you'll see I'll show you what I mean. So middle, middle. So almost, there's only one note in between, right, before the two middles come. Middle. Oh, actually, that's a ring finger there. So middle, ring, ring. Do that again. So middle, ring, then there's another ring, and then the two middles. Middle, there's the second middle. So middle, middle, right? Then the thumb, then the ring to finish up on the left. Then ring, middle, middle. So then ring, ring, middle, and we finish up. Okay? So the best way to get this is to remember in your head, right? Middle, ring, ring, middle, middle, ring. So middle, right? And this is how I'm just showing you how you're going to practice this. Middle, ring. Now, so there's a first middle that we say, and then now it's a ring, ring, middle, middle. So we can say ring, ring, middle, middle, and then we got a ring at the end, right? There's always going to be a middle next to a ring, right? But we've got a middle, ring, ring, middle, middle, ring, right? And it's very, that helps you remember the scale easier. Middle, ring, ring, middle straight away. You see, so, all right, so coming here, we've got a middle, middle, then it's the next note. So that's what you're going to remember too, that it comes quickly. Middle, middle, then ring on the left, and finish up. Then the left comes first, right? Ring first. We're reading right to left now. Ring, then the two middles are coming. Middle, then coming quickly. Thumb, then we've got ring up here. Then there's a note between, then there's another ring. Thumb, and then the middle on the right. And the left just finishes up. And then, see, this swings over. Okay? And that's how you join both hands together. So take it slowly, and before you bring them together, just practice the right and get it correct, and then practice the left, right? So the left's going to go, the first thing with the left, it's going to go all the way to the thumb, right? It's going to be ring, middle, ring. Ring, middle, ring. Ring, middle, ring. We'll finish up. Okay, let's move on. Now with both hands muscle memory, I want you to play it and say middle ring, and do that for a few days until you're really comfortable at it. And then it should be natural to do it. But I want you to do this first before, so when you bring them together. Middle, right? Ring, ring, middle, middle, ring. Ring, middle, middle, ring, ring, middle. Okay? And also what you can do, once you're comfortable with that, middle. You can, when you're ready, you can start dropping saying the middle. But remember, if you drop saying the middle too early and ring too early, you're gonna stuff yourself up and not. If it's not committed 100% in muscle memory, you're going to stuff yourself up. Now, if you stop saying middle ring and got it all in muscle memory, right, and you're playing your muscle memory for quite a while, and let's say you don't play it for, say, 6 months and come back to it, it's very likely that you won't be able to play it smoothly, right? And you'd have to take some time to learn it again. But if you can jump back to that middle ring middle again, and you know how to do that, then it will be much easier to get back into that scale because you understand how to create it with your fingers, right? So understand how to create it. So just rely on doing that for a while, right? Middle, ring, ring. And also note how quickly they come in. That's very helpful. Middle. So middle's right hand, right? Middle, ring, ring, middle, middle. See how it comes straight away? Middle, middle. I did the wrong finger then. Middle, middle, then ring on the last. So ring, now middle, middle. I missed the middle, but it doesn't matter if you miss it when you're coming back, as long as you, that's fine, but as long as you don't make a mistake. So, because if you miss saying it coming back, but you're going, just go slower. That was going probably too fast, but go slower. And if you miss one, but you haven't made a mistake, then that's the muscle memory kicking in, right? But because you've got to concentrate what you're doing. Well, when you're doing the muscle memory, you turn off your brain, right? And that's fine when you're getting right into a song and you're getting into the flow and the mood, and you're only using the sort of intervals as a backup, and you get into it and you're playing. But when you want to start improvising, you've got to start thinking. Middle, ring, ring, middle. See, I was stuffed up there, so that's where I've got to practice. Middle, middle, ring, ring, middle, middle, ring, ring, middle, and do it like that. Okay, so that's muscle memory. All right, let's move on. Ear harmonisation. We've seen all this before. It's all the same idea. So we're just holding down the B flat, right? Just the B, and just play the scale. And when we hit B flat, when we hit B flat, just keep on doing that. So we're just listening for the bass of a chord. This is where it's coming. The bass of a chord and a melody pattern running over that chord. And we're just getting our head the intervals. But see how I went fast? That was probably too fast, because what we're also trying to do is get our ear to hear it. Hear that second? And we're going to be doing interval training and all that in it. Tonality coming next. Excuse me. So tonality training is when we're trying to hear the key now. Right? So we just hold down the pedal. And let it ring out, each note. You don't really need the left either now. But I'll put the left in because it brings out the root of that scale. So keep the B flat in there. Because what you're doing too is when you're hearing an interval, right, and you're second, third, you're hearing it in reference. So harmonic intervals are in reference to a bass note. And you want to get that in your head, right? Now we're going to get, when the course progresses and we start to learn songs, a lot of the exercises you're doing like this, once you get moving and your fingers are moving, these exercises are great to get you a certain level and your fingers are moving. But what's really going to get you going is just learning as many songs as possible. And you'll get better at learning songs. Your ear will get better to pick up the melody, right? And you'll just get better and better at it. You'll learn songs faster and faster, and your ear will pick up. So, and that will be your practice. But before we get the point to where learning songs, what we're going to be doing before that, right? In the next once I finish these lessons, in the next few lessons, we're going to be learning now every chord within a key. And while we're learning all the chords, right, and we're going to go through all the keys, so you're going to end up learning all the chords. And there's going to be a few little videos before that, right, before we do that, I'm going to show you how to make every chord, right? So it's going to be easy for you to make every chord. And you'll be able to go back as a reference. That video will be a reference and you can work out how to make every chord very quickly. Right? So you've got to watch the intervals video to make sure you understand intervals. And if you're not quite sure on that video, go back and watch it again. Right? But it'll make more sense as we progress. Better still, just buy the book, and that will really advance you pretty fast. But these lessons are great, and I just take them from the book anyway. But the book is your guide and your reference. All right, so I lost my train of thought. Doesn't matter. Tonality, right? So we've done that. Interval recognition. So we're just hearing now the melody. So keep the same hand, finger positions for the scale, but play. And we're just playing the bass note. So we're just listening to the sound of a second. We're listening to a third, major third. There's no minor third in a B major scale. The fourth. I'm also noting where it is too to see the position. I'll show you, don't worry, I'm going to get to show you how to find all the fourths very quickly and all the fifths. All right, that's coming. That will probably be in my, I'll probably do that very soon actually. I might do them before I do, showing you how to find every chord before I start into the song. Before we start learning all the chords within a key. I might do a little video on an introduction to chords. So, and then I'll get into, after the introduction to chords, we'll learn how to make the chords quickly. And maybe a second video there, and then we'll start to compose music. And we'll do that together, and I'll have to work out the best videos I can do for you, and maybe you play along or something. So there's a lot of things I have to still work out with this channel, right? But, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So, yeah, so there's our intervals. So there's a fourth, there's a fifth. Keep the same finger numbers though. Middle, ring. Major 7th, 6, major 7th, 6, 5, 6. And you can hear that they're dissonant, right? You hear that's a dissonant sound. Now, you'll get to, your ear will first have that fifth as finding fifths, because the fifths are very smooth. There's no dissonance in a fifth, right? It's quite smooth, right? And it's got to do with the waveform. If you have a look at a wave, I've got an image that I'll bring up on another video, but you'll see it's 1.5 times the wavelength. And where the 0 points cross on the wavelength, it all matches up. That's why it's smooth. But anyway, that's just kind of a little technical. But now you can hear it. You can also play up here, right? So keep the same finger numbers. Index, ring there. Now you're listening for a second here, high. So this is a second high, right? Well, they're all high, right? Whatever we play is the highest note on the piano. We can say that's high. But down here we can play a second, and we can play a second. Sorry, seconds here. Play a second here, right? Sometimes when I speak, I say the wrong thing. So I'm going to just I'm starting to add in my videos, I'll add some corrections. So if I say something wrong, if I say like there's a minor and it's supposed to be major, I'll put a little correction. I'll get my little friend here. He's been out of this video. He's very upset. But he'll pop up. He'll pop up more often. You'll see him. I've introduced him in this video. But he'll pop up and correct me. He keeps me in track, that dude. He's a bit pissed off at the moment because he just sort of hasn't been in this video, but he's coming in little snippets. The magic of editing. All right, let's go. All right, so that's all we're doing. So we're listening, so a second. See a second here, for instance, quite clashy, all right? But here it's not as clashy because it's higher up, right? And that's one of the tricks of composing. When you want to add certain intervals in, right, you by adding them an octave higher or higher, they'll sound a little smoother. You know, when you go lower, you know, when you play thirds down here, it's not very nice. So anything below here, right, and you start to add in thirds and any other intervals below this, you want to arpeggiate the intervals. So you want to make them less ambiguous. You're more ambiguous, your chords down there. So you'd spread them out, you know. So it's okay to put a second there, right? But you're going to put it there. You're not going to play it together, because it's just awful. It becomes very muddy. You always, well, when you're editing. Oh, Jesus Christ! Bleh. when you're creating a song, right, say on a sequencer, you always filter a lot of that bass notes out because below certain frequency, because it just gets too muddy. So the same idea here, you know, it's just too muddy to have intervals just played together. So you have to spread them out, you know, you play them at another time, in another time. Anyway, I don't know if I explained that pretty well. I think I did. All right, let's go. Melody training. Constraints. You've seen this again before if you've watched the other ones. Same idea. Constraints are there to keep us focused on what we're trying to learn. Too many options. There's too many variables. Okay. You learn better when you've got more constraints. It also gives you ways to get around things and think about things in a different way. You know, a lot of the key scales, like blues scales, are constrained scales. You know, they leave out notes, or they might add an extra note, or they leave out notes, and then you're trying to play within those constraints to make a rhythm and a sound, a unique sound. So that's another use of constraints, is to make, to create unique styles. You know, like all the different scales you can create, the blues scales, and you know, I've got a whole list of scales. You know, there's so many of them, and I found a whole lot of them in the. I think it's in the first part. Yeah, it's in part A of my book, and how they're created. Anyway, let's move on. So we're just learning now the B. So you've got to play notes. You've got to use the same keys, fingering. You've got to play notes within the scale, and you can't skip notes, okay? So you can, and just hold the B down. That's all you're doing. The B flat, B flat. And you don't hold the pedal. The reason we're not holding the pedal in these exercises, when you're playing songs, you use the pedal a lot, you know, but because we want to clearly hear some of these intervals. And we're going too fast there too. And you can play the same note twice. But we're using the same fingering, so we're at the middle up here, right? And then we're going to... Now it's pretty restricted. See, I jumped? You can't jump in this exercise. And this is also helping you learn the scale as well. But you can press that whenever you like. So if you want to hear the interval stronger, you press it. Now it's very restrictive, so let's move on to the next one, where you can skip notes now, but you still have to use the same fingering. So you know, which is a bit hard when you're swinging on your thumb, right? You could go... And what you're trying to do also is trying to make something sound nice. Because when you come to the point of composing songs, what you'll be doing is you'll be adding words too. So you'll be thinking of words, and you want to hear the word and the melody, the syllable and the interval combination. You want to hear it. And it gives you a feeling, and the feeling can change depending on the word too, and the type of song it is, whether it's a fast song, emotional song. I like slow emotional songs because you can really develop your ear with them, and I do like that style. But you can always, if you can learn slow and emotional, well then it's going to be a breeze when you want to learn faster rhythms and that, you know. Because of course, when you're singing faster or playing faster, your ear doesn't have a chance to sort of really appreciate what's going on. People, when they're listening, get caught up in the rhythm of it, right? And then they can sort of ignore all the bad singing. So, you know, and if you go slow though, it's hard to ignore. When you're going slower, everything stands out, you know. Even if you just draw on one note, you know, that's going to stand out. I love you, I love you, you, I love you, and I love playing the piano. Now I'm following, when I'm singing, I'm following to the melody, because that trains your ear, trains your vocals, does a lot for you. Now, of course, and then when it comes time just to sing without playing, you know the song. You've committed the song, the exact notes in your muscle memory, and you've developed your throat. And you slowly push your range going up. We're going to do a singing one as well. We're going to do quite a few things on singing. I'll probably be, as we're learning songs, maybe in the song analysis, there'll be a lot of tips on singing as well. And what I'll do is, if I find some really useful information, I'll put them in the moments. I'll keep the moments there for very useful bits of information. So don't ignore the moments, because there's going to be some good tips in there. And I'm not just going to put entertaining. You're going to learn something in the moments. The reason I put the moments, so it's lesson moments, is because I brag on sometimes like this, but sometimes I come up with some good information to pass on. And instead of getting that information lost in a video like it is right now, I'll shove it in the moments, all right? I might even make a moments of this moment. Anyway. All right, whatever. I crack myself up. Oh, here we go, let's go. It's a nice moment. Song training. I don't know, I abuse myself sometimes. Song training. Okay, this is where we drop all the constraints, except we play in key. That's the only constraint. Oh, okay, so now it's still very restrictive because we're only playing one chord, right? So we're still very restrictive here. And I want you to put that note in wherever you can. But think of it like this when you're doing this, the song trainings. Think of it like not a boring exercise, okay? Think of it, you're developing some ideas that later on you're going to add in songs. And you don't really need to write them down, because they do go in your subconscious and they do come out. You know, they'll come out again and again and again when you're mucking around on the piano. If you do find something that you really love, a combination that you love, then write down the interval pattern. And I'm going to show you how to do all that and write down patterns, and keep a little database of just your little patterns if you like. And you can use them anytime. You can draw them and shove them in a song somewhere, and you've got a nice little database. But you'll develop a subconscious one anyway, that they'll come out anyway. If you And these patterns also have melodic rhythm as well, right? So they're not just intervals. So, and you will remember that. The way to remember melodic rhythm, right? So with sheet music, you write down all the timing, but in our system, we don't focus on writing down timing, because we're focusing on hearing the timing with our ears. That's the big thing. You can write down timing when you want to communicate the exact things you're doing with a group of people, so an orchestra. But when we're actually trying to write songs, what we do is the way we can remember the melodic rhythm of what we're making up is we put words to it. And words become another memory association for you to remember a song and a melody. If you put words to that rhythm, you remember it really quickly, the way to play it too. Every time I look at you, every time. And also every time I look at you. And you can muck around with that for the subtleties of how you're going to sing that and the melodic rhythm. So melodic rhythm is way more important than harmonic rhythm, because melodic rhythm is what people remember when they go away and they hear a song. It's the melodic rhythm. The harmonic rhythm can be memorable because it gets you like, it makes you dance, right? It gets you going, and you get a feeling with that too. You get a good, happy feeling, right? But it's the melody too, because just having harmonic rhythm by itself, well, then you pretty much gets a little boring. Might get you dancing, but it does get boring. So you want to have your melody first, and then bring on the harmonic rhythm, the harmony later, and the harmonic rhythm. So melodic rhythm, and that's how you're going to sing it. Every time, every time every time I. So you muck around like that, and you see, you just start with a few little. This is real song training now. Every time I look at you, every time. Right, so we're going to learn, we're going to do a lot of songwriting, we're going to do a lot with this. This is a course, right? This is a course, and I've got my book. To become part of my student, or become part of this club, well, this school, the Akousunesis School of Music, that's your membership. Now, with that membership, it's only $25. So you think, well, it's not going to get you much, is it? Well, it will get you. It's going to get you a fair bit, because not only do we have all these videos, which you can get for nothing anyway, but what it'll get you is that I will answer and direct my answer. Basically, you ask me a question and I direct my answer to you. Of course, I could get overwhelmed one day, which I'm pretty sure I will, with emails. And, you know, you've only paid $25 for the book. So getting quick, well, I've got a lot of attention time now, and I can give you a lot of attention. Getting quick, right? Because I'll have to, you know, pace myself. If I get inundated by emails, it's going to take time to answer emails. But what I'm going to try to do is find common questions and create videos. So with one video, I can answer 10, 20 people at once, that type of thing, down the track. But these are early days yet. This is a very early day I've only started this a month ago, about coming on 2 months maybe now. So very early days, but I think it's going well, and I've got endless material in my brain, and I've written it in my book. So you're going to have a lot of fun with this course as it develops. And all right, questions and answers. I don't know if I've got any other new ones here. I don't think I do. I think I've answered this in the last one. So yeah, so I've only got a few students now at the moment. So keep your questions coming, and I'll answer it. Now, just while I'm here, just another little rant, and I might seeing I'm in the flow. You know, I answered this. I think I answered this. Believing yourself. I'll check my other video, and if I haven't, I'll do it in the next video. All right, just another quick rant, seeing I'm here. This system is going to be the best system in the world and I'll tell you why. I'll give you the exact reasons why it's going to be the best. It might not be the best now. I believe it is the best way to learn music now, but it's going to be because of a few things. The first thing is that my book, right, is an open document, right? Although I'm selling it now, and it is as much as I can put in at the moment, but down the track is that I'll have more information to put in, and once you buy the first copy of the book, any revisions free after that, right? So once you've made the first purchase, you've joined the school, everything's free after that. My commitment, well, that's my commitment to you. But the second reason why it's going to be a great music school is a teacher a good teacher is also a good student. So it means a teacher never stops learning, right? So they're always a student, and they're open to new ideas. So what I do is I have a look at other people's ideas, and I see if there's anything that can add to improve what I'm doing. And if it is, I'll put it in my book, right? And that way, I get better and better. My book gets better. There's a lot of plans for this. Once I have more students, I get more feedback, right? And the feedback is going to improve this system. And also I'm going to write more exercises. So these are things I'm going to do, right? So, but at the moment, what I can do at the moment is revise that book, and I've got a revision coming up. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm linking from the book, which will be a PDF, to video. So when you're reading the book, you can click on it. If you're reading it as a PDF on a computer and maybe practicing as you go along, you can click on it and go to the video. So you can watch the video a bit, and there'll always be chapters in the videos, so you can jump, right? So the two main reasons why this is going to be a really good school is the open document idea. The book's an open document. One day it will be finalised at a publisher, but I'm not going out to look for publishers. They will find me. I've got no doubts about that, because this is going to get better and better, this book. Right? So, and you'll realise once you start getting right into the system and start doing stuff on the piano, that this is a pretty great system. So, all right, I'm pulling my own chain here, but it's not because I'm great, right? It's because I'm just doing the right things. I'm just doing the right things now, right? And just open to ideas, right? And putting them in my book. And we can build this together too. So you learn piano, my book gets better, and that by having a better book is that you'll be able to utilise it for yourself, so you can become a good piano player. Anyway, that's a freaking rant and a half. It's a bit of a self-promotion rant, but I've given you the reasons why this is going to be the best. One day, it's going to be the best music school in the world. One day. Anyway, one step at a time. One step at a time. Let's move on. End of lesson. Okay. Anyway, the presentation today is a PDF file. So it's a PowerPoint presentation on a PDF file. $5. Helps improve everything. I'm slowly improving things. I'm improving the thumbnails. I'm improving ideas, way I can help you improve these videos. So hopefully you see little improvements down the track with each video. Okay. So, all right. Catch you later. Bye.